Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to episode 24 of the smobcast. So, we've had a bit of an eventful uh, day here today. We got all sorts of stuff to tell you about, but we got to catch up on some stuff that we ended up missing the last couple weeks because due to family circumstances, we weren't able to do an episode last week, but we're gonna try and make up for that today. So it might not be as long of an episode though, because as I was saying, we had a very busy day today. So things we're gonna be chatting about, like we missed like these 4 buffs, but we got to be on a tier list video with the Mist, and Plushie was already gonna be there, but I got to be there. Like, dang. But yeah, let's start off with hello, Plushie. Feel free to say
Hi.
something.
Hey everybody, Pleasure here. Sorry I've been spacing out. It's just
He just woke up, so
yeah, I just woke up from the tier list, doing a full mist. It was pretty fun. Make sure to check out the video. Surprisingly
yeah.
enough, we didn't put Muramasa in E. We tried. But there you go.
Yeah, Muramasa got he got put below Saber Shield. I'm sorry, spoilers and all, but uh, so speaking of E, let's look at this servant that at least at some point in time was E rank somewhere. I'm actually not sure what she was ranked somewhere. I don't know what he ranked her last time. So it's kind of hilarious how we went from like Salter getting an amazing buff like last year, and then we've got this other Salter getting it is a
Buffed
buff.
again.
It's just yeah, but of course, like she's always had this problem where she just has a shit skill set. Like her NP is more or less the same as Saber Alter's NP, except you get the free NP5, so like you get to capitalize even more off of the higher NP multiplier. But her skills were terrible. She had a heal with a Stargen buff. She had a mana burst. It wasn't even the full 50%. It's A- rank for some reason. And then she had an instinct skill, but they got rid of the instinct. Now she has Reindeer Drive A, which it's a team-wide 10% charge. It overcharges the party's NP by 1 stage, 1 time 3 turns. It increases their crit damage for 3 turns, and they get more stars than they used to. But I'm just kind of baffled by this because, like, even though it definitely is a big improvement, like they added 3 effects and improved the already existing effect, they literally doubled it. It's still not much anything at all. Like it, like
Yeah.
10% charge. I guess like some multi-core stuff might appreciate that, but like everything here is just like so replaceable, you know? Like you can get that from anyone else, and I'm not sure why I would bring a not very good AoE Buster Rider to do that. Because like Mary Anning, for example, she has a team-wide 10% charge. She has 30% crit for the team. She has 30 stars. She has the exact same stuff here. Although I guess she can't clear a wave of casters. It's just like, I don't know, man. 20% is just such a tiny number. Why not 50%? Like, I think 50%. I think she'd still kind of suck if she had a 50% team crit buff. I don't know why they undershot so hard.
Sorry. Hold on. I'm struggling to find the. I accidentally closed the stream.
Oh, it's fine. So, there's not really much to be said about Saber Alter, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Ultimately, like, I think the most impactful thing that happened there was she got added to the evocation shop. I don't think
Yeah,
this is
she's
gonna
a
make any.
rare
Sh
collection piece.
Yeah, she
As
is.
sad as to say.
Yeah, she's no longer like a big trophy that very few people have.
Yeah.
She's still because she's not even special now. I guess like you can't even be
Well,
proud of having her because I don't know
that
what
is
I'm
a way
saying.
to put it. Like,
You're not special, honey. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say about that. But
yeah.
uh,
I just think any supportability is not worth it. Like, she's missing too many stuff.
yeah, because like that's kind of like the Saber thing, like being pretty selfish and being able to do your own damage. Like that's what they did with her buff. They made it so she could like refund with her NP and uh she could have the Pierce invuln. Like that made her more flexible with the damage she did. But yeah, this was just a very different direction with it, and I just don't know. I don't know what they're doing. But this is a lot more sensical of a buff. I think there's a lot of. I've seen some opposition of it, and then again, like some of the people that have butted heads with on it. I've also butted heads with them for much stupider things in the past. So like whatever. But yeah, I've held this for a while. Um, Janta is like okay. Like she was like okay as a DPS. Like she's not gonna be doing the single core farming that people want because her battery isn't big enough. But she has like all the basics of an okay kick. Because she's got a heal. Like this skill kind of cheeks. Not gonna lie. And then 20% self charge, and then the 50% debuff resist for 3 turns. I think that is pretty cool. It's a shame it's only 20%. Some people would just take that being changed to 30%, but that would be boring as shit, not gonna lie.
Yeah. It's not like here's the thing, right? It's not like people are actually gonna start looping with them the moment they get a 30 battery. Like people like to say as if they would start using them to farm, like if they had a 30 MP battery, but I don't think that's true. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's doable now. It's cool. We can make a video on it. Yeah. No. It's not happening.
Yeah,
So like,
unfortunately, that's just kind of a truth with this game. There's just so many servants that like they're the servants that there's just so many servants that aren't useful. But
yeah.
I guess there wasn't really who do we have for AoE Lancers? I feel like as far as 3 stars went, I want
We
to
don't
say
have
she's better than
Hector.
I think she's better than Hector. Romulus is he's weird.
Romulus is pretty bad. Like base Romulus is pretty bad. I have to say, like looking at his kit and whatnot.
Especially after this upgrade, I think she outclasses him.
Yeah.
So, and then she's also got the same mana burst thing that that Jalter has going on, except it's actually slightly better because it's 55% buster instead. And also she takes 200 more damage when activating it. But that makes sense because she doesn't have Omega high attack stat. It's to compensate for that. But she always had this weird NP where after damage she reduces their debuff resist by 10% for 1 turn, and increases attack and healing received for the party for 1 turn. And it's like like, like the only thing that the heal affected was like if you had HP regen, like you get an extra 200 for every K you got going on there. And then they made it so all of this is 3 turns. I don't like that it's still like only 10%, 20%, 10% and all, but hey, at least it has a use now. So that might make her a little it might make her a little more synergistic in some traditional teams with healers and such.
Like, this is kind of what it was supposed to be all the way back. You know, like it's almost like, I don't like to call it a fix, but it's almost a fix. You know what I mean? Like having a heal on like one turn on MP is just, it's literally just, I think it's like just design flaw. Like it's not supposed to be a thing like that. You know, um, how to put this? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think it would.
um,
I think so.
yeah, yeah, basically. Same with the attack up. Like it's just not supposed to be designed that way. Otherwise, you know, you have to. It's very awkward. It only activates on the turn the MP happens. There's a lot of weird timing things. I just found out recently. Do you know like Shana O works better in
Oh,
NA than
oh
in
yeah,
JP?
yeah, because it lasts 2
Like,
turns instead of 1.
yeah, it's so stupid. Why isn't it changed in JP? Like, there's so many like weird timing stuff that I think they should tweak. Which is like, ugh. But anyways,
For clarification, because it is kind of complicated how it works. So basically, if I understand it correctly, on JP, so this craft essence, the Wandering Tales of Shauna O, it's uh, the team gets 30% quick for a turn after the holder dies. Uh,
yes,
on JP, it is listed as 1 turn, and if you kill off that team member, like with Qingong or like if it's a rash or something like that, then the quick will end. It will go away after you finish your action turn.
yeah, yeah. You can only take advantage of it during the turn that like whoever equips it dies. So like, yeah, like if you gong someone and you want like Yui's buff, for example, you have to gong someone and then like immediately Yui MP afterwards in order to get that quick to count, which,
Yeah, but on
yeah,
NA, it doesn't. That actually doesn't matter. They will cover you for the next turn even if you gong someone. So
I don't know why they don't fix it for JP. Why? What logic is there to not fix it for JP though?
it's so specific, dude. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't really affect most people. As well, Shana is it's such a worse CE compared to Ox King. It's just, it's so bad, bro.
Yeah.
It's so hard to use.
Gawain's Buster
But yeah.
Star Absorb is on NP, but it's 3 turns, but it's actually 2. Yeah, I think that's part of why
Oh,
they
true.
basically never do absorb on NPs. They did the same thing with Mothman, because he has an absorb on his NP, but since you can't shuffle the stars while you're using the cards, it
Yeah,
doesn't
so
do
basically
anything.
one turn is wasted. It can't, like, it doesn't do anything for you on the turn you MP, yeah.
Yeah, it like I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Like it's just how it is, I guess. So there was one other servant that was added to the evocation shop, Santa Altera. So as you can see, they didn't buff her first skill, they didn't buff her second skill, and they didn't buff her third skill. So you might think, oh, maybe they buffed her NP. They didn't buff her NP either. She didn't get anything. You lose. So they not only did they release Psycha right before this, before they added her to the shop, they also didn't buff her because, like, dude, like, she has so it's just so dog shit, dude. Like, there's so little going on here. Like, she her first skill is like 20% charge targetable, and then the 30% star gen buff for 3 turns. It's like it's basically Shakespeare's third skill, except it's less star gen and for a longer period of time. So, and then there's second
Yeah.
skill that, oh my god, dude, like 30% NP damage and 30% crit for 1 turn for 1 target.
See, it has to be limited in power level because it's targetable. You don't understand how good it is targetable. Like, bro.
Yeah, it's like crazy numbers there, dude. Like,
Yeah,
uh,
insanely good welfare. I mean, they just fall into this camp where like kind of the who gives a crap kind of welfare is. I mean,
yeah, like honestly, this is the best skill she has. It's the most interesting thing she has. It's 3 turns of Pierce Invuln. It's Star Absorb because this archer really needs Star Absorb. Then she also has the 3 turn defense buff, which I think that's okay. It's on a low cooldown, and I actually really do like this demerit. Like, I mean, it's better to not have a demerit at all, but this is before they started doing that little slimy thing where they're like, no, you're not allowed to remove your timer debuff before it triggers.
oh yeah, it doesn't count as buff. Like
Yeah, this counts as a debuff, so you can,
yeah,
if you have a command code that removes the debuff, you can just remove this, and that's it.
yep.
And you can also bring a different command code to block it, but that makes less sense because this is just going to be around that long. Like,
Yeah, you might as well just
you got
remove it.
you got 3 turns to get rid of it. Like, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
She's just very lackluster. Like her NP is like 20 stars. That's it.
It's like a line you said in today's tier list video where like it's not just that the welfares are pushing pushing the viability of normal 4 stars down. Welfares are killing other welfares these days.
Yeah.
They've been releasing such powerful welfares that old welfares actually look really bad in comparison. Saika is a prime example on top of Iori. Like, obviously everyone's gonna bring up Iori because haha, but like Saika is another great example. Like, she's not even that flashy. Like, when you look at her kit, you're not like, oh my god, this character is absolutely busted. But it's just so much more solid than what we have back in the day. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I started a script a few days ago. For like some other video I want to make, because like, of course, I've got the Berserker one I've been talking about for fucking ever, and I still haven't really made a lot of headway on it. But I'm also making a video just like talking about like I got a great like clickbait title / thumbnail, which is like I'm definitely I don't know if I'm gonna go with this harsh of a title, but I could say something. It could be something like how welfares are killing FGO. Like
Okay,
that would really get some people.
that
It would,
is a bit much. I think you can
yeah.
say like how welfares are killing 4 stars or something. I don't know.
How welfares hurt FGO. Yeah, and yeah. I mean, it's clickbait, but like, hey,
Like,
I gotta
people are
get people.
gonna hide disagree with you though. Like, people are you know how people love, like, oh my god, this is a one thing that people praise about FGO, which is like, it has really powerful welfare. So technically, even though the gacha is dog shit, you absolutely do not need any pay to win units to like beat stuff. So I'm afraid if you title something like that, you might get a lot of negative feedback.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the nature of clickbait. Like, just don't bait too hard, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll figure that out sometime down the road. But yeah, I had a pretty handed rant about that, and and I got stopped before I started shitting too hard on JJK fans.
Oh, dude.
Uh,
No,
Thank you
but
for the
guys, you
happy
don't
birthday
understand.
wishes, by the way, everyone. I think I might have already said it, but today is my birthday. Yeah, so
Yeah, that's the only reason Ibuki's S tier. I mean, what?
next, yeah,
Yes. I
yeah,
mean,
dude.
no, but you don't understand, dude. You don't understand. The JJK thing. It goes further. You don't understand. She's doing hollow purple. You guys know what hollow purple is? Hold on. Let me send the image.
It's the purple ball thing, the purple energy
Yeah,
ball.
her
Oh
hand
my
sign is doing
god,
the hollow purple.
I
No,
hate it here.
pull it up on stream. People are gonna understand in chat. Trust me.
Uh,
Because I wasn't even gonna
uh,
make the joke because I only made the joke in VC and I put this on my community post. I just used this screenshot on my community post. It's completely normal about Andromeda, and then a bunch of the comments just like, "Why is she using hollow purple?" I'm like, "Oh my god, the brain rot is real."
I
The
hate it
fucking
here,
brain.
dude. JJK fans they're a blight upon this world.
uh,
Yeah. Well, Altera has been disappointed and is disappointing. No changes there, but we had a couple more interesting buffs, at least in my opinion, because they're for servants that people actually care about. So the first one is for Sei Shonagon, saving the best for last, for obvious reasons. So Sei has the issue that people always took with her was she has terrible refund. It's like almost non-existent refund because she has 12 hits and it's like 6%. It's a 6% NP, I think. So now I didn't really think it was that much of an issue like with challenge quests, for example, because I think her gain is like okay. It's just a refund is bad, and like she had a 20% battery, but she also has like this first skill. I've always really loved this skill. It's HP regen for the team, NP regen for the team, and then attack. It's like one of the best charismas that there is out there.
Yep.
Yeah. But
I mean,
go ahead.
like I really hate complaining about like cause I hate every character that people every time something happens we're like, oh my god, she can't loop Earth, she sucks. But like I do think her refund is like an actual issue maybe in terms of looping her MP a little bit. I don't know. I don't use her enough,
I gotcha. But what they did was they did something to compensate for that. So her second skill, I've always liked this skill, at least for the PFA aspect of it. I do like that it's a 3-time 3-turn evasion, but the 3-time 3-turn crit buff of 30%, it always felt weird. But they changed that. Now it's just 3 turns. Makes sense. And they also added a 30% battery on it. So now she has a 20% battery and a 30% battery. So she has 50%.
Really good.
And she has 10% regen. So if you want to get really into the nitty gritty of the farming aspect of it, like if you do all the math, like you got 20% charge from her append, you've got potentially 20% from her first skill, so you're at 40, and then 50% from the other 2 skills, so you got 90% there, and then 100% from 2 Scotties, 190, and then you take an Oberon, then you got 260% charge. So she can go completely no refund necessary with the 50% CE. Now her NP, I believe the refund is like about, I think at neutral it's like 27% if you include the first skill regen. So I think if she gets a couple hits of overkill, she's able to Black Grail. It depends on
On
who.
what class?
I, I'm not like I'm not entirely sure because I don't know if I've seen it done. But
Yeah, I've only seen
theoretically,
Ex Naya do it with Kuro, which is kind of cheating. So,
yeah, like if you're
um,
gonna be bringing in Kuro, then like fucking everyone can.
yeah. Like I assume, I mean, we are rushing out content, so like maybe we just went for the safer, like, oh, this is definitely gonna work comp, but I feel like if she was able to loop without Kuro, he would have posted a video with her loop without Kuro. And
Are you sure though? Because
I
he
mean, I don't know.
doesn't drop lures like you do.
Oh, true. I mean, I didn't lord this one either. I did lord this one, but I lord her old battery. Her refund is just bad. Like I maybe on Sabers, I don't know. Like her refund is just bad. Like it's very bad, and it's not built for looping. Like
Yeah.
it's supposed to like loop with the help of some cards, I guess. Like I don't know if this is hot take, but like unfortunately, I don't actually see this buff as very impactful at all. I could be wrong because
Yeah.
I'm not a huge like I didn't invest a bunch in Sei, but like my Sei is just like 9 10 9 9 10 I think, and not grilled obviously, and but I don't think this really changes a lot. Like she's still gonna be this like DPS that has technically a bunch of anti-trades that she's not gonna be able to hit all of it at once forever, but yeah, I don't know.
She can Black Grill loop without Kuro. All right.
On what class though?
I'm
I
assuming
assume
that's
it's not on Zerg.
I'm assuming it's
Sabers.
just casters, but if it's not just casters, then I mean, good for her, I guess. Like, it's I don't know. Tested on Observatory Babylonia.
So Sabers is the one with hermit crabs, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. So it is on Sabers. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
I see.
So was it?
I guess the split is good enough.
So was it double Scotty and Oberon? I'm assuming it wasn't triple Scotty.
Yeah, because it really doesn't boost her base refund at all. The third Scotty.
Yeah, that's usually when you'll pick the third Scotty, just so you can get a bit more refund. But if you're not going, if you're already stretching it on refund, you're generally better off going with Oberon instead.
Yeah, she got the split battery as well. Like split battery also usually works better with Oberon because it's like the numbers work out easier.
Yeah. So I feel it is an improvement. Like it's an objective
sure.
improvement. I'm not.
It did
sure
fix the
how
crit
impactful
thing.
it is.
Right, like it's kind of a like this character used to kind of be we kind of like touched up on it and fixed it a little bit, but yeah, I don't.
It's nice that they did that though, because like her competition right now is Takasugi, and Takasugi's thing is ramping up crit, and like he has a skill that's just 50% crit off rip. He was way better in the crit department. However, she does have like a bunch of traits that she can get to out damage people. Which is cool.
I mean, Takasugi in general is still, in my opinion, like a better like semi support type. Like he has better utility for the team as well, right? Like cooldown reduction, overcharge. Like I don't know. I think he's generally a way stronger unit than Sei, at least from my experience. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about that, because like I don't know, I just love her first skill a lot. Okay,
Yeah, it is really good, but like
speaking of her first skill, I think she ended up seeing some pretty good like she's pretty decent in multi-core now, because it's like 10% and 20%, and then she has her own 50% battery, so like she's got a lot more freedom.
Yeah.
And she is all about that freedom. She is. It's fitting, I guess.
Yeah, perhaps. Like looking forward to seeing more Sei, because like she's obviously one of the more popular characters. Like people love her, and it shows from like how many, like she cameoed in an episode outside of her own in the Fujimaru doesn't get it thing. Like people really like her. She's probably one of the most like memed characters as well. Like she's just popular. Her personality is very very fun, and people like those characters.
She's a very goofy looking person.
Yeah, she's very goofy.
You don't have to post a link to the clip. Like, yeah, I thought that it was the case, and you just confirmed it. So appreciate it.
Like, I believe you.
Yeah. So we got one last buff to talk about, and we got Murasaki, who's like one of my favorite servants ever. She got a weird buff. She's already a servant that lived and died by having specific niches that she got and being justified there. So she was always like, she does a lot of damage to demonic. She has a bunch of niche utility, and she can also help other people do damage to demonic. But they decided to add this thing to her third skill where everyone gets 30% anti-chaotic and 30% anti-good. So I think they just hate they just hate Sei, because Sei is a chaotic good servant.
It's pretty funny. I think Sei's counter trait counters Murasaki, and Murasaki's counters Sei. I'm pretty sure. Let me look.
Neutral.
Because I saw a meme.
Oh yeah, neutral and man.
Because I saw a meme picture of it. Can I send this? It's on Reddit. Hold on.
Certainly send it.
I'll send you. It's so funny.
So I kind of like this buff. Like no, that's fucking weird, dude. No. Oh my god, this guy.
But yeah, there you go. It's very funny lore-wise or something. Yeah,
there we go. Kiss a homie meme.
Look, chaotic good, man, neutral,
Weird,
great
dude.
relationship.
It's unholy.
But yeah.
But I do think that, like, even though there's very little triple overlap here, because like now she's got 30% anti-demonic and then 30% chaotic and good that she can support people with. There's only one servant that has all of those, and that is Saber Ibuki, ironically. Summer Ibuki is not someone she gets damage. She doesn't get class advantage against. I mean, she does get class advantage against, but she is Summer. She isn't good anymore. You heard it here, guys. I said that
Summer Ibuki's not
Summer Ibuki is not good.
FGO hot takes. Summer Ibuki's not good.
And it's like a 5-second long video, and it's just pointing to the wiki, and it's like, yeah, she is chaotic Summer.
She's not good. She's Summer. There you go. Here's my last Hamon. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I just woke up, but like, look.
Oh, what the fuck is this? That is it.
Guys.
Okay,
it's important. It's very important to me.
This one is disturbing. It's I feel like it works a bit better. I don't know, man.
It's a SSR writer. They gotta tease me like that. It's a Greek woman, but it's not Typhon. It's a SSR writer, and it's not Arya. I mean, I like her though. I think she looks very hot, but like for real, like her, dude. in one frame of her MP. We can look at that later, but she has like very tight, half transparent clothes, and the under boob is like it's really lewd. She's very lewd with the whale. But, like,
all right, chill out, man. Chill out, man.
So yeah, we can talk about it later, but like yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that.
Yeah, I'm good, man. So, anyways, this skill buff. So what I do like is that there is a good amount of overlap between demonic and chaotic. Basically, every demonic servant is also chaotic. So between those two, you're going to be seeing 60% special attack and then 30% defense down. So even if you're not getting all three of them together, you are still getting a pretty hefty amount of damage. Like if they're just chaotic and good, then you're still getting 60% and 30%. So I brought this up to Plushie, and I'm not sure if it's going to be something that comes up with anyone else. I think she has potential of being pretty good for full gauge comma runs, because demonic. You can use her instead of Nightingale, and all you need is just that one buff removal resist. She covers you there. She's also got a debuff immune for whatever that's worth. I'm not sure how applicable that would be in most runs.
It does help a little bit, right? Because every time you attack, you get debuff. So like saving that pushes damage quite a bit. Get like a damage debuff. I mean,
yeah, because like I guess that makes sense. That means you go one more skill with one more attack before you start getting your damage gutted. But then Kama is demonic and chaotic, so you're getting 30% defense down and then 60% power mod, and you're also working around that. And that compared to like 30% NP damage and 20% attack. Wait, you don't even get 20% attack if you're going full esports Nightingale, because she doesn't have her third skill, does she?
What? No, you do have her third skill. Most esports Nightingale is 60. Like it's there are level 40 ones, but it's usually ones that have trouble dying, and I'm pretty sure full gauge comma I think she MPs on 2, no? She might MP on 2. I kind of forgot, but like they don't have trouble dying. So it is level 60.
Yeah, I'm not the best person to ask about that. I do kind of want to try and see if I can somehow get Murasaki to min turn her, because she does have more actual like card damage from this.
I mean,
it's
I think it's gonna be tough. Like, to give you a perspective, the first ever AoE arts to do it was Takeru, which means like for like all the way back for like all this time, not a single AoE arts was able to do it. Like,
except Hokusai, but that's not because she was an art servant. It wasn't her.
Yeah, I think she doesn't.
It was
I think she didn't
because
use her MP.
insane luck with maximum go and like a bunch of other shit. It was basically just cards.
Yeah.
But I think it's a pretty cool buff. I understand why some people are annoyed by trait buffs, because they're like a lot of the time this does nothing. This buff is completely ineffective in a lot of situations, but that's kind of just how she's always been. She's always been Murasaki has always been someone who's very niche focused, between like I already loved her third skill a lot, because it's the right way of doing buff removal resist buff for the team. It's 1 time 3 turns, so you can set it ahead of time and you don't have to worry about timing it properly.
Yeah,
and they just made more effects to it, so it's cool. So it's nice. She also notably extended the height of the caster damage spreadsheet because of how it's distributed. she has 5 different entries on Rat's sheet now.
Yeah.
Because you have
There's so many
demonic.
different ways to like.
Yeah, you
Yep.
have demonic, you have chaotic or good, you have chaotic good, demonic and chaotic or good, demonic and chaotic good.
90% power mod, by the way. Pretty juicy. Like 90% for the team, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 90% for the team against Ibuki Doji.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah, she can help Sei completely demolish Ibuki. This is what I want to do with my afternoon. Thank you. But yeah, I guess it also has a bit of a multi-core possibility because of that. Since most of the buffs that she offers, they apply to the whole team's ability to do damage, then you can get some good damage boosting from that. But the problem if you're going to be talking farming though is it's only going to affect the 3rd wave. This buff would only affect the 3rd wave for the most part, so yeah, whatever for the most part. Am I a turtle or a tortoise? I'm a beetle.
Fuzzy beetle.
Yeah, I can blink. You behave or I'll blink at you. But that's all of the buffs that we've got right now, but we also got this reveal of the new servant, which is this here
Andromeda.
is Andromeda. Or Volcarona.
It's really cool. Iron Moth. People tell me it looks like the future one. Future Paradox. Volcarona.
Yeah, the second yeah, not the first tan girl with a chain theme going on. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, so this is the image that I was actually referring to earlier.
But yeah,
He went ahead and sent it to me.
Yeah, she looks very good though. Like,
Yeah.
I how do I put this? Like, there's so many like servants that I feel like people are gonna, be a bit sleeper on. Like, but they have some of the coolest designs. Like, I really like Kashin Koji, for example. Like, people, Kashin Koji is kind of a sleeper unit that people think. Like, for I think what's her face? I think Wanjina's Ascension 3 is also a really cool design with, like, I mean, people are gonna say it's cultural appropriation, but like, I really like the
fuck Australians, who cares about them?
I think I really like the tribal, like, motif with her designs. She has like this whole like weather ball going on. It's cool. Like, I think a lot of these servants, like, FGO didn't immediately go for the most profiting designs, and instead they opted for adding characters that are that just have like cool designs and hoping that they stick. And I really hope more of these characters eventually become fan favorites. It's like Sei, right? Sei is technically a FGO original, and then she became a fan favorite. I hope this happens more with modern SSRs. It's really cool. But yeah, her MP is really good. I like her MP a lot. Even though it's probably just gonna be one MP animation again, there's not gonna be difference, which is unfortunate. Yeah.
Well, we know who the character we thought was going to be a fairy is now, because
oh yeah,
there was a character that had like the fairy looking wings. That's whatever the hell these are. That's what they are.
Yeah, out of everything, Andromeda is not a character I'd be guessing to be that silhouette at all. I love her design. Is she good? Her kit's not out yet, so there's a chance. Yeah. People thought it was Aurora.
She's a cool. 5-star writer, probably AoE. I'd be shocked if she's not AoE.
Yeah, I kind of hope she's but single targets are so good anyways with welfares. Like maybe AoE. Like the biggest like big brain is like after the whale eats you, it's just a debuff MP. Like it doesn't even do damage.
Yeah. Yeah, it just
Like
like
it's
stuns the
actually a
enemy.
support MP. Yeah, it's actually a support MP. That would be big brain. Um, but don't do AoE arts. I know her entire MP animation is blue, but
Yeah, it's water. It has to be arts.
it's water and the galaxy, so they're both kind of blue.
I said, yeah, I say that, but Taikobo's NP, he drops the rod into the water, and it's quick.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Like her MP animation is really pretty. She has like the you can see the Andromeda galaxy in the background. When she rides the whale, it's pretty cool. But yeah, hope she's a interestingly designed gameplay wise servant. Like even though Wangina, like people kind of sleep on her. I think Wangina's gameplay is very interesting. Like yeah. So I don't know.
yeah, okay. So I'm gonna pull up our good friend Mist's tier list. Like the
Uh-oh.
I just wanna like look over it and just to jog my memory on some of the wonderful memories we made today that have not made it to YouTube yet. Of course, this is probably gonna go up on YouTube after his. So, yeah. Where the hell would I go for this? Mist. Continue. That's mean. Yeah, just start talking about something random. Why don't you?
Start talking about something random.
FGO related, preferably.
White Day is Perseus. I guess. There you go.
That is indeed a phrase, probably.
Yeah. White Day is probably Perseus because, dude, he's been name dropped by all the Medusas and now his wife. I mean, yeah. There you go.
So, I feel like they're building up to some sort of something for,
Ordeal call.
not well, yeah, but for the Greeks because I feel like so nothing's I don't think really anything has come from it, but have you ever read Odysseus's interlude, like the Space Odysseus interlude?
No, I didn't read it in detail, unfortunately.
So there's a lot of emphasis in that for some reason placed on Circe's sister, like towards the end. And it's pronounced really weird, but she's basically Asterius's mom, which yeah. I'm hoping that the bull ends up just like some humanoid guy. Yeah, but
Nah.
but she got name dropped pretty hard, just kind of out of nowhere. So it makes me want to think that maybe that's what we'll see with Saber Wars 3, because I feel like Saber Wars 3 is coming, regardless of whether or not we want it to.
Oh. Look. Saber Wars 3, the space war against, like, dude, the big bad in Saber Wars 3 has to be Typhon if it's Greek related. Because it's a giant space track. Okay. Oh.
I'm sorry, I was only half paying attention. What was it about?
I was just saying, like, Saber Wars 3 could be the perfect time they debut Greek's biggest enemy, Typhon.
Yeah. So another thing that I thought was like really interesting with Odysseus's interlude is we got to see This sounds weird, but Space Olympians? Like they're already Space Olympians, but Servant verse Aphrodite and
Versions.
Demeter got to show up.
Oh yeah, true. And they just look the same.
Yeah. Yeah, she's smoking in that universe, both figuratively and literally.
The one unchanged factor about Aphrodite in every multiverse is lung cancer. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she does it for the aesthetic. She doesn't do it for the taste.
Yep. But yeah, Aphrodite would also be a really cool addition. Like what Arco. Yeah. Enough said. What Arco, smug, mature woman.
Yeah. What is her name? Why can't I find it? Cersei sister. Pasiphae. Pasiphae. It's pronounced. It's spelled really weird, and the way it pronounces it, the way Google tells me I'm supposed to pronounce it, sounds worse than Pasiphae. I'm gonna go with Pasiphae. Because it wants me to put an there instead. And she's I don't know what all they do. I think that might be their gateway to actually putting Olympians into the game. Beyond Apollo being just like some weird looking fucking sheep. Oh, speaking of sheep, dude, Doomazid is eventually gonna happen.
Yeah.
He
I
might
feel
actually
like,
be
yeah.
he actually might be the White Day servant. I wouldn't be too surprised if he is.
Yeah, I mean he fits. He showed his actual face in Lost World 7. So
Just letting people know it doesn't really even matter in that story. Like he just appears for some reason.
fuck. Is this okay? Maybe it's mild spoil. Yeah, it's just a cool cameo. Like it's just yeah.
Like you guys already know that there's an Irish costume. Like
Yeah.
he basically got his own costume, except he's not in the game, so and he is still engaging in his Indris battle. Okay, so I have the Saber tier list in this window that I'm about to pull up in front of everyone. Man, there's just not much to talk about. Hate to say it, but we're gonna reminisce over these crazy prior times. So this is what we ended up with. EX tier had 4 servants, 2 4-stars, 2 5-stars, and I feel like they're okay. I'm satisfied with it. Okay, like I'm not sure if I would normally list Salter as like EX tier in much anyway, but like as far as a farmer goes, it makes sense. She really is punching up as a 4-star. Also, he's wagging his little finger at us. He knows I'm mooching content off of him again.
Oops.
Hey, I put in 7 hours today. Like that's most of a work day, doing that for him. So,
yeah, for sure.
I think I earned it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Iori is also on here. Of course, he's EX ranked. It's funny. He has such a plain design too. Like you got all these people with the fancy colors and the fancy costumes and shit, and then you just got this scruffy looking guy. This is just random Japanese guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
and
most.
No one else looks normal.
Yeah, the main character. In fact, the shonen main character.
Ugh. So I had to I had to fight to get Ibuki to stay in EX rank. It was great. Like he was about to, um, he actually made S tier like out of nowhere at the end, but he was going to leave her at A plus, and then I was like, I've got one last card up my sleeve, and
The birthday
yeah,
card.
the birthday card. And he was like, okay, I guess I'll leave her there for now, and she's stuck there. She didn't get brought down to S. I'm very happy. Okita Alter is definitely EX tier. I I know that they weren't as sure with Ibuki, but I know he's a little more familiar with Okita, and I am also very familiar with her. I've used her a lot. I find her gameplay very fun, and she's just very solid. In my opinion, she's like, if you overcome the few weaknesses that Quick has, she is like the best AoE saber.
Yeah. Like, I just like Ibuki because she can push damage. I think she definitely deserves servants that are able to push their maximum damage sometimes. I value them a lot more. Like Musashi is able to push her max damage a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why people like Okita actually think is really good, because she's able to push her damage to really good. Why do you hate Fran? I actually hate Fran. Well, I don't hate Fran as a character. Maybe she shouldn't have been singled out to D+ in hindsight, but like, she's just bad.
Yeah. So part of the problem with Fran is she suffers a lot from being NP1.
Oh yeah, this list is assuming.
Yeah, everyone here is NP1 except for
welfares and
welfares, and I'm not sure if Bedivere was actually ever like I don't know if he ever said Bedivere is NP1 or what.
He said he assumed he was MP. He assumed he was MP5, but then he actually docked points from him, because of how. Because he said in one very short section, he said like if he wasn't story locked, he'd be A. Yeah, that's what he said in the end. So like Bedivere would have been A if he was just MP5, I think. Worse than fucking Gareth. Well, here's the thing, right? I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like she was placed a bit too low because
we just didn't fix the bottom. Like, dude, like, does it matter? Bottom of the barrel versus slightly above bottom of the barrel. Like, they're just bad.
Oh yeah. By the way, guys, if you paused and you were looking for Saber Gilles, he's not on screen. He's actually below Liz. So, sorry.
Liz in certain cases are more usable than some people in C, right? Like Liz, because of the free MP5 compared to like MP1. Like Liz technically isn't that bad, but it's just she's just bad because I hate it. So like I mean.
Yeah, I mean I'll be honest. Like Liz's damage actually isn't that bad. It's like I looked at the damage spreadsheet and it was like. It's like almost 70k neutral, which it's pretty impressive. But
even though it is a one-turn buff, but yeah,
it's that, and then she's got the invuln. That's basically it.
Yep.
Saber Lily, I don't think she's D+, but I didn't have the energy to argue it. Like she's like she's meh. Like she's not the best at anything. Like she's like a decent 3-star, but the thing is she's a 4-star. So
yeah, like in hindsight, Lily and Saber and Brave Liz shouldn't be that low because of because of the rules of this list. Like like everything else is MP1, for example. Like because they're free MP5, they have some merit, and both of them have upgraded MPs as well. Like Lily even has a higher like slightly higher modifier, right? So like yeah, They're probably not as bad. But still, they're just very boring and very like, who wants to use them? Like, unless it's absolutely no other choice, right?
Yeah. It is good to see though that the average was like B plus to A. Like that seems kind of reasonable. There's always that bell curve going on to some extent. Yeah. It, hmm. So Dioscuri was one that was very hotly contested there, because uh because
Me.
they yeah Plushy really didn't want them to be moved up. Um
I wanted them to be even lower than
yeah.
A. I'm not
Oh
joking.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
wasn't it?
Dioscuri sucked.
Yeah.
Like obviously we can debate more here, but like I just think, her not her, their damage is bad. Like their skills are do too little. And ramping and looping their MP doesn't actually give you much of additional benefit other than the MP itself, and the MP itself is weak. So like I genuinely think, yeah, as easy as she can loop, they can loop their MP. It's not. It's like just all right. Like it's just I don't know. I really don't like Dioscuri. Maybe I do have MP2 though. I test out all of my single target R sabers, as boring as it is, because bro,
I need to use mine more often. I find their gameplay pretty fun. It's just they really do
it's
have
satisfying.
yeah, it's just damage issues. That's really their
Yeah,
only problem these
yeah,
days.
yeah, yeah, for
What I'd
sure.
love for them to do, I would love for them to uh, give them an NP buff, and every time they use their NP, they get like 3 turns of a crit buff. I think that would be pretty neat, because that means that their cards are also going to do even more. Even though that's still not going to be exactly their selling point, because it's going to be their NP spam. But if they get that NP buff, then I feel like they could compete with Musashi.
Wait,
Although
come again?
I'm talking about Dioscuri,
Oh, if
like
they got a buff.
if they got that NP buff, because
Oh, for sure.
It's
Like,
like
yeah,
I did mention it, like with the win conditions, like they do have a few that I find kind of rare. Like I know that they're what's it called, the Voyager of the Storm buff. That skill is, it's annoying that it is the way it is, but the one thing I do love about it is it's got that 1-time 3-turn debuff immune for the whole team. Do you remember the Succunos or whatever it was, the big eye
what?
fluffy from
Oh,
Summer?
oh, yeah, yeah. The last one. It was wasn't it a, no? Was it a ruler? I don't remember.
It was
Or is it a
Foreigner.
foreigner? Oh, it was a foreigner. Yeah, the
Yeah.
big eye Cernunos. Yeah.
So I used Dioscuri for a video with that quest, and like one of the things that it loves doing is it
It's
loves,
debuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
it will like stun random people, like in response to something. I forgot what it was, but
I
if
think
you
it's
do
you
that,
using your skills or something. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, but
yeah.
if you do that, then you're not gonna get those stuns. I like that. Having the 1-time 3-turn effects like that. It's the same thing as with Caster Murasaki. And her buff removal resistant. Oh yeah, she also has the 1-time 3-turn debuff immune too. So fancy that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, they're good utility. They have like good utility, and like they have, once again, the MP is anti-gimmick. Like they can deal the truest form of damage most of the time with their MP. Yeah, but like damage issues is certainly a thing, unfortunately. And I don't know. It's just yeah, they should use a buff. Like they're old. They're pretty old, no? As servants.
It's been like 3 years, 3 or 4 years now since they came
Yeah,
out.
yeah, they're relatively old. I think like I even think they could buff Saber Ibuki. I know she's already S tier, but like you know they could give her
No, thank you very much. She is actually EX tier. Thank you.
who
Uh,
Ibuki?
yeah,
Yeah, but you want to keep her there next year.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so she.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like it is very possible they might buff her though. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
um, I
Because they're
almost
never
mentioned,
gonna touch the summer one. Like, please
almost,
don't touch the summer one. I swear.
yeah, I almost mentioned it while I was talking about Musashi, but like I got to her second skill, the mana burst skill, and I was like, this is like the perfect place for them to put a battery. I'm sure they're gonna put one there eventually. So,
Oh, you mean Saber Musashi?
yeah, Saber Musashi.
Dude.
I could see them buffing her again. Because
Oh
why
my
not?
god, she's gonna be like, ever since I got wiped from existence, I've gotten all the greatest buffs in the world.
Yeah, dude.
Stop, dude. Stop buffing that character. Like, please. My god.
I'll be
Anyways.
honest though, like, okay, if all they did was add a 30% battery to her, I don't think it would like
I
break
wouldn't
her.
change much. No, it wouldn't change that much.
It's just like I know that they would do the Saber Shiki thing with it, and they would make her Buster and Pierce Invuln last more than
3 turns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Imagine that. Dude, no, if that mana burst becomes 3 turns
Ugh.
on Musashi as a triple buster servant, that's literally what I said with Arthur, right? Like if that mana burst became 3 turns on this triple buster servant with a upgraded buster MP and 3-turn Invul Pierce, she doesn't even need any additional buffs. Like literally just extend the duration of her second skill to 3 turns. It's actually so insane. This character, her overall damage is gonna become like sky high. It's gonna be so good. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I hope they make Musashi extremely broken because it's really funny when it happens. Like it's just like Berserker Musashi. It's really funny to see her decimate sabers, right?
Yeah.
Like I would like to see another crazy Musashi buff, where people are just like, why are you still buffing her? Why do you still exist? Like it's funny. But she, to be fair, she gotta like, she gotta like beat Iori, right? Yeah. Like she kind of needs it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah. Hey,
there you
go. So I was very satisfied to see the placement of Artoria here. I feel like the thing that I was trying to get across to him, which I think it's really just been a big problem for Artoria for a long time. Because she's good at farming, but the thing is everyone else can farm too, and her being able to farm a little bit better, while everyone else is not only able to farm not as good, but do everything else that just so much better than her. It really does hurt her.
It really shows, right? Like initially when she was the one that when she was she just got the buff, and Coin Light, and people are like, oh my god, this character is insane. And then you see other old AoE Buster Sabers start getting buffed, and then you're starting to be like, yo, wait, hold on, something's not right, right? Like Altera, for example. Like people don't even talk about Altera, but Altera is if you're doing Plug Oberon, she basically is technically, I mean, unless you have fucking Rising Mudrain or whatever, she technically, I don't know if she does better looping damage than Artoria.
I think she does.
She should, yeah. I'd imagine she would, because she actually has stackable buffs. More than one stackable buffs with Koi and Light. And in a CQ, she's better. In a CQ, she's way better. She got buff removal on CQ. Nobody remembers that, right? She got great general card damage boost. She might have trouble absorbing stars unless you bring Light. I mean, if you bring Koi and Light, she's just gonna get all the stars anyways. But so she has strong crits, as well. Mordred is actually, it's such poetic justice, I guess. Mordred is the pinnacle. Like Mordred's buff and how she performs now is the pinnacle of why Artoria like being good at farming was overrated. Because the moment Mordred gets something similar to Artoria, she's just a straight up better servant. Like,
Yeah.
It's actually tragic. It like I mean this I'm sure this year anniversary they're gonna buff her again, but the fact that they didn't buff her during the stay night thing, ooh, maybe they're completely ditching the OG.
I don't know. Maybe they'll settle for her having that lower power level because she's more accessible than most. And
Yeah. Oh yeah, because she
generally
got a
the
free ticket. Yeah.
generally the options that everyone has access to are supposed to be weaker than the ones that not everyone has access to. But we got this smug little bitch in EX tier right here, so
Yeah.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, but other than really broken welfares, yeah. Artoria genuinely, in my opinion, was like defeated by Mordred in terms of the gameplay. And Mordred has so much more stuff than her. It's not even funny. Like if you look at Mordred.
Well, I'm sure she would be so glad to hear that that she was the one that killed her.
Yeah, it's insane. And also having the special damage against Artoria faces is just another great niche. Like sometimes it would just randomly pop up and Mordred would just be the best solution, right? So Mordred really prevailed like over the years. I remember like people were saying Mordred was kind of better Artoria, but like it's debatable. And then Artoria got the buff, and then Mordred got left in the dust. But then she,
weren't there a couple years where some people were saying she was like the worst 5-star?
Yeah, because everybody got a 30
insane.
battery. Yeah, it was like before she got any buffs, and then like everybody else got a 30 battery, I think. Or like she might have actually had her first buff, which is like 3-time crit up on her second skill, right? And then people were like, it's only 3 times. Who cares? It's 50% 3 times. It's not really 50% 3 turns. So like it kind of still not that good for her as a crit DPS. And then everyone else like people were saying like Altera was better for crits than her, right? But then Mordred got another buff. Now the mana burst is 3x 3 turns, so her looping damage is actually really good. Even though I rarely really loop with these sabers anymore. Like I have to be honest, like these AoE sabers, like the AoE Buster OG sabers, I don't really loop with them single core anymore. But her looping damage is better, and she got another crit with the Buster crit up for 3 times again on her first skill, right? So really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, was she? No, I feel like people still thought Arthur was the worst.
Oh yeah,
right. Like Arthur was always gonna be the worst because his inability to loop, even though I don't think that's actually his biggest problem at this point.
Yeah, his NP is definitely the biggest problem. It's not the looping though that I think is the problem.
Yeah, for sure.
If they gave him some sort of buff that let him do high burst damage like Artoria, even if he wasn't able to loop, I think that would still be a really big boon for him. Maybe that's part of why they're really reluctant to buff him again, because the way he needs to be buffed would kick the shit out of Artoria. Because Artoria's only thing right now is ease of looping and high
Buster
burst
hand
damage. Yeah, like there's the Buster hand too. I feel like that's. I genuinely feel like that really doesn't amount to as much as people might think.
That is the general theme of the Stay Night crew buffs. All of them people were super hyped about. They just ended up being whatever. Like MES card type change on his MP ended up being weird as shit. Ku's like basically Hijikata effect is not bad, honestly, but it doesn't. It just helps him like become a little bit faster than he used to be. And Herc's skill 3 buff is just completely not good at all outside of Castle of Snow. So like I genuinely think all of these like flashy Stay Night buffs that people like so much ended up being irrelevant. Like they just didn't really change the character that much. Like, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, that's my hot take of the day. I think the Stay Night crew buffs are actually just mid. Like, they are super flashy. They all ended up being mid. I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Let's see. Is there anything you want to ask me about with this? Like anyone
This
in
list?
particular?
I mean, I think the biggest disagreement between us is Dioscuri. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I greatly appreciate that you were able to clarify things about Muramasa at that time, because for some reason I was just not able to focus well, and I did a very poor job of disassembling him, if you will.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we've talked about this multiple times. Like, basically, it doesn't matter if it comes out of my mouth or your mouth. I think Muramasa is just, his playstyle doesn't fit Arts. His refund doesn't really, matches up with the modern standards for Arts AoEs, and his MP was supposed to be the sole carry of his Arts looping, side, because his entire skill set is like, I think it's not a stretch to call his entire skill set not related to Arts looping, right? Like yeah, the first skill does boost refund, but like basically it's like his MP overcharge effect is supposed to handle his Arts looping, and his skills are supposed to handle his critting. And like the MP effect is not good enough anymore, and especially the MP itself also is just 3 hits. It's not good enough for just Arts looping, So he's like he doesn't know, he has too many things on he has like 2 things on his hand. He doesn't know which way to go, right? So like I just think this character is awkward to use. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and you ended up covering a lot of the points that I wanted to. And people thought I was just really biased against him. I was like, I mean, like I've used him a lot. Like I know I didn't do a good job of making myself look like an unbiased party, because like I know I'm a big Ibuki guy, and I was certainly hamming it up a bit there. I will admit.
Yeah, I mean,
but
it's
all
a
for
running
theatrics,
joke. Muramasa, he like this is also why I don't even think I can call him overrated, because like I don't think he's that over. Like yeah, you see some very avid defenders of Muramasa, but like you've got those people for every servant, right? Like, but like Muramasa's, like, people's general opinion on him has really dropped, in my opinion, like throughout, like,
yeah, it's because
like,
of Takeru. Like,
yeah, like, I mean,
the thing that Muramasa, some people thought he actually had an edge on was farming, but then Takeru comes along and he actually does Arts farming, like,
yeah,
like good, and it's like,
yeah,
wait a second, why did we like Muramasa that much? And I think this is like a cool dichotomy between him and Ibuki, because the reason why Muramasa always won was because he just didn't have any competition. His only competition was Saber Shiki, and like, I mean, there's only so much competition there. And then everyone always compared him to Saber Tomoe, and that wasn't even what she was made for. So like, of course.
yeah.
And then with Saber Ibuki, however, she showed up and did the same thing that all of her competition did, but better. And she did more things, because I guess they just really love Raida servants.
like Muramasa is just, I want to see him buffed, like Shira, like Reality Marble, Unlimited. I mean, it's not Unlimited Blade Works. Literally, it's like the Japanese weeb version of Unlimited Blade Works. It's so cool, right? Like I want to see him be good. I don't hate him as a character. I don't want to see his downfall. Like but that's just genuinely how he is. He's not that good. I feel like you know, Takuru obviously completely showed how he doesn't have an edge in farming, but like even when you look at some other universal AoE art loopers with 50 battery in comparison to Muramasa, like his refund is just not good. You know, 3-hit MP, like it's just not good. It's plain not good. I don't know what to say. Like people are complaining about Vitra's refund when Muramasa exists, right? Like you can't really do something like that. Like it's just not that good, right? So I don't know. Charlie. Oh, somebody's asking about Charlie. I have changed my opinion on Charlie a lot. Charlie actually is his first skill that people hate. Is actually able to give him a lot more extra damage. Like once again, a comp that I like to run with Charlie is Caster Scotty, Castoria, and Charlie. Charlie's first skill can actually protect Caster Scotty quite well. And then, you know, Caster Scotty's MP in the long run actually is able to give you a lot of offense. And like, you know, it's inconsistent for sure, but Charlie is able to push a lot of damage with his MP. But that's about it. Like he is stronger in the MP aspect than Oki the Alter. At least in the damage aspect, in my opinion. But it's a bit inconsistent, and his cards suck. But I don't know.
So for me, like, I see his potential damage being higher, but it's just the way you ramp it up is just like, even if you can protect him and all, it's still just going to be inconsistent because, like, the enemy has a 1 in 3 chance of attacking the servant that will get him to do bonus
it lasts
damage.
5 turns. It's not like it lasts 3 turns. Like honestly, my opinion would be a lot different if it only lasts 3 turns. But like 5 turns is quite amount of, you know, is quite the amount of, you know, opportunity for him to get extra damage out of it. Like yeah, you don't need to get 12 obviously. Like you can get like 3 to 4. That's pretty nice. Like 3 to 4 is like normal almost normal anti-trade damage, and it's universal, right? So like I hate how inconsistent it is, like for sure. I really hate how inconsistent it is. I actually think like maybe it shouldn't be him getting hit, maybe it should be his teammates getting hit that buffs it. That would have been better in my opinion. Like Wangina. Wangina has an effect where
I was about to say they did that with Wangina and it worked great.
Yeah. Wangina actually, like you just support her with like man attribute. Like Yui is a great support for her now. Yui is able to like get hit multiple times, and Wangina immediately gets the special stacks up. So like I think like maybe it would have been it would have been in theme as well. No, like he gets like angrier that his people got hit or something similar to Wangina's logic. Like he's a king, but like yeah, I definitely think it would have been better if his teammates get hit and he gets a buff. That would have also made more sense with the defense put on his teammates, and then so his teammates can tank hits and it synergize. It makes more sense. It makes more sense. So yeah, I agree with it's really weird. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm barely awake here.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to do it for that long. It's not like we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
It's fair to complain about 5-star Lancer refund because of 4-star Lancers. Yes, people complain about Vitra. Yeah, I guess that's a bad comparison because there's a lot of low-star competition for Vitra. But like Vitra, I don't know. Vitra ended up still being pretty nice. I definitely think she could have used the buff with her rerun, but she didn't, so that's kind of unfortunate. I think any buff on Vitra that is like remotely like it's not like a, you know, oh, I add 10 MP charge or something. It's not something stupid like that. It would make her pretty decent. She's kind of a forgotten character that just end up being underrated. Like the last time people really used her was against Tunguska's raid, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. The thing, the lore behind is that his power grows the more heroic he acts. Why is he heroic when people bonk him in the head?
He thinks for the bits, man.
Like, shouldn't he be more heroic that, you know, his subjects are getting attacked, and he's like, "I'll save you. I'll save the day." And he jumps in. I don't know.
He's being chivalrous.
Yeah, wouldn't it make more sense? You know, you know, it would have made even more sense because his first skill is protecting his allies, right? So because the invols put onto other people, it would have made more sense. But anyways, and that's a nitpick. But
Yeah.
hopes for Andromeda. I don't know. I just hope she's not a looper again. But she's gonna be a looper.
Yeah, I mean, she's an AoE servant that shoots water at the enemy in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's a looper right there. I hope she's single target.
Nice job
Like,
today on the
yeah.
Saber tier list. It's nice to have strong opinions and articulate them well. I'm glad I was able to do that during like the first half. Like halfway through, like on our like 6th single target art Saber, my brain was melting because it's just like I made sure to say it. It's just like like you're splitting hairs when we're comparing all of the single target art Sabers because
Is too much.
like they're very
I mean-
interchangeable in a lot of situations. It's just like
I mean, you're not wrong, but like, for example, right? Like Saito, very much MP heavy. I mean, that's why I think Saito is clearly better, almost, because like he doesn't need the crit thing. He doesn't need the crit. Like, trust me, he does not need the crit. Hokusai is only good because of the MP5.
see, the
like,
thing is,
yeah, no.
all of them, their selling point is their NP, but they also have the option of crits on the side. Except
Yeah.
Lancelot, whose thing
Except
is the crits on the
Lancelot,
side.
Yep.
So, like, you can boil them all down to that, and it's a very reductive way of putting it. So, obviously, it's gonna affect all of them. But it's just like
My Saito
I don't wanna
remains
talk
largely
about his
unused.
servants. I want.
What's your
talk about
strongest-
Ibuki.
What's your strongest single target arts? Do you have a universal one? Do you have like a Berserker or Draco? Because like,
Are you
otherwise I
asking
do
me?
suggest. No, I'm asking chat. I do suggest trying out Saito if you don't really have like a obviously there's no real reason to use Saito if you have like a super invested single target arts. Like why would you ever use him if you have like a super beefed up like Draco, for example? But use Grail this year. I think you can definitely try Saito. I think you should definitely try Saito. Saito, when he's counterclassing, like especially his damage really good. You know, is really good. Oh yeah, could be the mat issue. Maybe you just didn't level it up like Auto because the mat is horrible. But yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm glad I saved Saber Shiki last second. I think Saber Shiki
Oh, yeah.
deserves more attention. Like
Yeah.
as I've said before, like you put that kit on a non-art servant, people are not gonna complain. People are like, "Oh my god, this is so good! 3-turn info pierce on a 5-turn cooldown with 40% buster up for 3 turns. Wow, that's insane! Oh, on a buster team as well. You know they have such great sustain with 4-turn cooldown, 5k heal, and yeah, the attack up is kind of lame. But you know it's also short cooldown, and on the MP. It also cleanses all debuffs. Wow, that's a great team utility. Oh, but the moment that she's blue, she can't loop. She's fucking ass. Like, it's kind of double standard. I do know that a lot of supports that she provides is like overlapping with Castoria, like debuff cleanse, for example. But like, damn, bro, that is really double standards. I tell you, like Shiki would be, in my opinion, almost objectively a worse servant if she was Buster, but people would like her better if she was Buster, which is funny.
I didn't feel like fighting on the hill because like I don't know. I guess it kind of fucked up my rapport with chat. But I wanted to say that Shiki is
Better
in a
than
challenge
Muramasa?
quest. Yeah, in a challenge quest sense, I find Shiki better than Muramasa.
She is, for sure. I wanted to do that JP chat was screaming at me to do that. But it's been very long, and I'm like, I do understand still the merit of Muramasa in challenge quest, because like, he still has offensive buff removal, right? Like he still has defensive ignore. Like it's not like he doesn't.
Well, the thing is,
I know Shiki does as well.
She has defense ignore, and she has pierce and vuln at a lot more useful, a lot more easily
accessible,
used,
high uptime. Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, for sure. Because like Muramasa's only edge against Shiki in a challenge quest is his looping, but it's not really that much better, like. So yeah, I do agree Shiki's better in challenge quest than Muramasa. Shiki's also just got a better steroid, like just 40% arts up for 3 turns on 5-turn cooldown. It's better than whatever his fucking rainbow's supposed to be. So, but yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, I actually don't know. Now that I think about it, because like I was thinking like Muramasa still has the edge with refunding, but not really. I was thinking about his third skill helping him refund a lot. Like one crit card with him would be a full refund basically with the third skill active. But now that I think about it, maybe not. Like I don't
yeah,
see
like
very
maybe
high
with Castoria and all, but like.
And maybe with Castoria, Shiki can do it as well. Who knows? I mean,
yeah.
I don't have her, so, but she probably can.
I did a pretty good amount of testing Muramasa with and without Castoria, and like I wasn't using double Castoria with those tests, and I found that like his gain, like his card gain, isn't really that impressive either. Like
yeah, he needs the third skill to add on to the card game.
He needs his first skill more than he needs his third skill.
Because the crit.
Because that's going to make him crit, and that's like one of the main reasons why he's so janky. It's just like he has a single, like being a servant that likes to crit and then only being able to guarantee crits once because your steroid is just gone after that one turn. It's very awkward.
Yeah. Like, especially these days, like so many art servants, they give them so many tools to crit. Like these days with like modern art servants, they're like, oh my god, this art servant, they have star generation problem. They need star per turn. They need star absorb bomb. They need a star bomb, and they just throw all of it onto an art servant, right? And Muramasa, in comparison, he just doesn't have any of this. He has one star bomb, and that's it. Like it's star gen up, which doesn't like his cards aren't like like stupid like 6-8 hits. I don't know. So like. I don't know. He doesn't have a way to make stars. It's just he doesn't have a way to absorb stars. He just I don't know.
Well, I had fun earlier today. It was a lot of fun. It was some ups, some downs, but all around it was a fun time. I think I made a pretty good impression on a lot of chat. So I was glad about that.
Yeah.
I feel like I brought a bit more, like at times a bit more chaotic energy, because like I know the two of you are very laid back.
Yeah.
But I think that his community might have a nice response to it, because like I was a little worried that I might have been a little too rambunctious at the end, but I reached out to him and he was like, "Oh no, it's fun." So
I mean, yeah, for sure. Like, his community also likes how do I put this? Like, I mean, they love to see chaos. I think that's just generally how viewers are.
Yeah, that's everyone.
Yeah, that's just most people, right? It's fun. It's fun to see opposing. That's why I think that's why his viewers liked it when he has other guests on, because like it's multiple, it's multiple different clashing opinions. Like I mean, like chat. it's really funny because like chat always says like I'm cooking when I'm shitting on a character, for example. You know, like when I was shitting on Dioscuri, the chat is like, oh my god, he's cooking, you know, he's spitting facts, which I do indeed think I was spitting facts. I don't like Dioscuri, I'm sorry, but like, you know, it's funny. I mean, it's funny, and for sure, I think Sabers, honestly, despite Muramasa being such a big meme, Sabers is not even close to being the most controversial tier list that's gonna happen.
Yeah, that would probably be
Oh god,
Berserkers.
Berserker.
Or is it
Would it though? Like,
Lancer?
because like Berserkers has so many clear winners. You know, Summercast. Oh yeah, okay. The only controversial character on Berserkers is gonna be Vlad. That's
Yeah.
it's Vlad. It's literally just Vlad.
Dude.
Like people are not gonna Vlad and Galatea. That's it. Like people are not gonna argue Castoria Summer is bad. People are not gonna argue Ibuki is bad. People are not gonna argue Arjun Alter is bad.
Yeah,
Or maybe
it
Morgan,
really is
but
just
I think I think the Morgan thing kind of died down. Archers, bro. I'm gonna piss so many people off when I mention Musashi Berserker during Archers. Like, people are gonna be so
why
mad.
would
But
you do this?
dude, like, it was actually the worst buff that could happen before a tier list.
Man, what is
Like
it with
Musashi's buff was
Miyamoto's fucking up everyone around them.
exactly like Musashi Berserk, like both of them from fucking Samurai Remnant, because like the Musashi from Samurai Remnant is a Berserker. Like both of them are just they're screwing over, like Iori screwing over the Saber tier list. Musashi's not even screwing over the Berserker tier list. She's screwing over the other one, right? Like, yeah. I think Archer is gonna be a really big. Like I also did not mention something that I wanted to mention for like every tier list today, which is like Draco. Not even Draco. It's just, you know, like there's so many good universal, like Draco just makes a lot of, you know, single target universals. Not a lot of like single targets feel not that good of the standard 7 classes.
Yeah.
But I don't have to mention Draco today, because Iori kind of is like posing the same issue for single target sabers anyways, so I don't actually have to bring up Draco today. But like it's similar, you know, like we did talk about Nero Bride, which is technically the first single target arts Nero, not Draco. But like I don't know, I think maybe it will pop up in Archers. No, but like I still wouldn't be mentioning Draco when, you know, using this point when talking about Archers, because I'll be mentioning Musashi instead. So it's pretty interesting. I don't know.
What would the most controversial? Dude, I can't wait until the assassin one, because the assassin one, 2 years ago, I left a comment underneath his assassin list, and it was like, I was just saying, like, I felt like
trash.
No, I was saying that I felt like his NP gain evaluation was pretty inconsistent. And then after that, he was like, oh yeah, I'm not entirely sure about all of them, so I'm only gonna speak on the ones I know of. So I had that impact on him, and then the next year I was like, oh yeah, I was the guy that left that comment. He's like, who? Who? So I'm gonna go from the person that was in the comments of the assassin tier list to the person that said that they were in the comments of that one assassin tier list for some reason, to being a person in the assassin tier list. So it's character development, dude.
I mean, I'm actually not that familiar with most assassins. Like, obviously, I know the top tier ones, like the good solo ones. You know, King Hassan and Akama. I think King Hassan is worse at soloing than Kama, still, even to this day. Like, it's not even like Kama doesn't have a heal. Kama actually has a pretty good heal on skill 1, by the way. Like, and like obviously Tez being Tez is of course a thing as well. Koyan Light, I mean, Koyan Light is Koyan Light, right? Like, just, yeah, it's not like she doesn't have to be an assassin. She could be any class. It would be the same thing, right? So like, but I don't know. I don't actually know about a lot of the the not top tier ones. Like I don't know, like a big comparison people like to bring up are the 3 AoE SSRs, because people don't like them, like Semiramis, Cleopatra, and like Chuten, for example. I don't actually know who's better. I personally thought Cleopatra was not good, but apparently I'm very off on that, so I really can't say much. I have Cleopatra on NA, but I don't really recall last time when I used her. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that could happen though. So Semiramis appeared in the opening cutscene of this event, and I think she was also the only Valentine servant that didn't get a banner during the pre-campaign. So she could get a buff this year.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, banner 2 Semiramis buff.
I could make a video showing off buff and whatever the hell it would be, because like I've had her 120 sitting there on my alt collecting dust, because like why bother using my 120 my hyper Semiramis to farm when I have a Castoria and I have a hyper Sabuki on my alt, on my friends list.
Yep. I mean, that's sad as this sound.
That's see, that's part of what that's one of the things that makes me more hesitant about bringing up like how you were talking about with Draco getting brought up with other classes. See, if we start bringing other classes into the consideration with like the main classes, then you're gonna have to start bringing in people like Ibuki, and at that point, there's no fucking reason for people to be ranked high for being good at farming, because if you have access to double Castoria, and you have the option of using
their survival isn't an issue. But like
why would you ever go with your NP1 Durga and double Castoria when you can take one Castoria and a hyper Sabuki someone on your friends?
It's more, I mean, it's more, okay, from an argument standpoint, it's more valid to bring up Draco, because like, yeah, art servants don't have to worry about survival, but like, oh, what if I don't use Castoria, right? Like that's always going to be an argument, but like Draco's survival being on par with actual 7 class servants is real. So like in any situation, under any circumstance, she would be a replacement for a standard class single target, like literally under any circumstance, because you know she takes half damage from them, right? So like almost in any circumstance, like yeah, I understand bringing in berserkers would cause like a huge issue, because like I as I mentioned before, I think berserkers is a fundamentally like too overpowered class for FGO's gameplay and what most people want to do with FGO's gameplay, especially arts berserkers, because of Castoria being able to cover so much of your weakness in the survival category. So like I think arts berserkers are fundamentally unbalanced. Like they're just not completely imbalanced in terms of what you want to do in FGO. But yeah, I guess I will kind of avoid it, but if I can. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, Semiramis. I think Semiramis would fit better with an arts MP, because like my imagination with Semiramis is just, you know, Lasengo was tired of Castoria, so they made a boss that removed your buffs every turn. But Semiramis was able to loop her MP, and then she gives buff removal res every single turn. She would be the best DP. Like yeah, it's the Semiramis theorem. You know, there's a timeline when, you know, Castoria became too strong, Semiramis will rise up, right? But in order for her to do that, she'd have to loop her MP, and she can't. So there you go. You don't trade enough damage in turns to make Zerk inherent weakness a problem. Like, it is still a problem. Like for a great example, actually, in my opinion, is MHXA. Why did I never... I already brought this up before, but I'll briefly say it. Why do I not think MHXA was as big an issue for archers compared to Summer Musashi, because MHXA legitimately has survival issues. Like, for example, I did do actually a frontline only run with MHXA Minturn on this challenge quest, but she dies. She gets like touched and she explodes. And because unless you specifically bring Castoria, which I actually did bring Castoria, and she still dies. But like, you know, like she has survival issues because she's quick. So unless you specifically tag in Castoria to make up for that, you know, and you're sacrificing her damage then if you're bringing Castoria. But for Musashi, no, you know, you're not sacrificing anything by bringing Castoria, and it completely covers her damage. And she even has like a guts for like, you know, clutch situations, right? I genuinely think like having that guts, like, oh, you know, she's left at 1 HP. Unless you're using Black Grill, Castoria can like preserve that 1 HP very well as well. So like, I don't know. I just think. Oh, she also has a bigger SE, of course, but you know, single target's still gonna do more damage. Like, I genuinely think like Arts Berserkers are an issue. Like Arts Berserkers are just their biggest weakness is nullified by Castoria, right? Like yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no offense to you. I was like half falling asleep while you were talking about that. I'm eventually you're going to say something, and you're gonna like ask some question. And I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, and just like
I mean, yeah.
look
I
for
mean,
something else to talk about. Well, like,
it's
we
all
got
stuff we
enough
already
to-
talked about. Like honestly, like it's nothing new. It's just Castoria is an issue. Like Castoria is too powerful of a support, and she just like, you know, being able to make up for a big weakness, like a big part of gameplay for an entire card type. It's just come with no drawback at all. You know, it will make stuff unbalanced. And like in my opinion, Arts Berserkers is the pinnacle of that issue. So yeah.
Mm.
Poison gimmick, Locusta. Yeah, Locusta is a better poison unit than Semiramis. I guess Semiramis doesn't really heal under her poison anyways, but yeah, Locusta's I mean, Locusta didn't heal with her poison either. I don't know what's happening, dude. But yeah, like I don't know.
Well, I think I'm gonna be calling an end to this here today. Sorry, it's a shorter episode, everyone, but we just spent 7 hours on a separate stream.
Yeah,
I think
just
we've
go
earned it.
watch that. Just go watch that. Yep.
Yeah. By the time this is up on YouTube, his should already be up on YouTube because I think it was rendering like when I checked a couple hours ago, and it had like a couple hours of rendering to do, and YouTube takes quite a few minutes to render a 7-hour video. I had to guess. But yeah. Oh, holy.
Happy birthday, by the way. That's the best thing I can come up with. My apologies.
That's fine. Thank you, man. Plus she just gifted 10 subs to the channel.
I hope.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There has to be 10 people that are not sub yet, right?
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Like,
okay.
I've got. Yeah, dude. Yeah. It'll just give it to people who aren't here if.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Oh, Fefe got one. Phoenix got one. Patamon. Zero get. Yeah. Some of those are more new names, I think. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's always. Yeah. Thank you, man.
No problem.
Greatly appreciated.
No problem.
It's been a good birthday. I'm really tired, and it's going to end a little bit earlier than normal, but it started earlier than normal. So.
It did. Yeah.
Thank you all so much for being here to watch this. Next week we got more to talk about. Oh, and Arash's Best Archer. Thank you for the new sub. But yeah, that's gonna be it from us. Thank you all, and have a good night.
Have a good
Peace.
night.